Welcome sa breakdown and manga comparison ng Alice in Borderland Season 2 Episode 7, kung saan dadaanan natin ang mga kaganapan sa live action at kung paano na-clear ang King of Spades game sa manga. After ilang episodes, Niragi the douchebag is back to his regular programming. Dito, he saw a dying man requesting him to end his life, but Niragi, being the trash he is, syempre, denied the request and let the man die in pain. This was also shown in the chapter 54 of the manga, where he actually met the dying man in a church. Next to that, pinakita yung iba pang mga face card games. We saw Anne and Quina reunited and played the Queen of Clubs together na mukhang batuhang bola match with the citizens. This game wasn't shown in the manga, pero we saw Mahiro clear this game. Tapos meron yung Jack of Clubs game na pag bumitaw ka, talo ka. Then we have the Jack of Diamonds played by extras here, which is the same mahjong game that Chishiya cleared sa manga. And by the way, sa manga, it was mentioned din na Anne cleared the Queen of Diamonds along with some extra characters, although di pinakita kung anong game ito. This was not shown sa live action. And the King of Hearts, which I'm curious the most kasi wala to sa manga, and the game looks something like a maze kung saan players are being chased by a wild animal. Di ko maisip though how this is a psychological game to begin with. And then we got this badass action scene kung saan the blimps are falling with Anne and Quina walking na parang Power Rangers with explosions behind, which is a recreation of this scene sa manga. The episode then goes to the two remaining games, which is the King of Spades and the Queen of Hearts. Pero bago yan, nagkaroon muna ng quick reunion si Chishiya, Arisu, and Niragi, which leads into some deep convos na nauwi sa putukan. Dumating si Usagi tapos binaril ni Arisu si Niragi para pigilan siyang barilin si Usagi, pero nabaril si Chishiya kasi sinalo niya yung bala na binaril ni Niragi. Basta, nagbarilan sila. This scene, the confrontation and dialogues went exactly as it is sa manga, except we got to see more of Chishiya's backstory and how his character came to be. After withdrawing from the games, Arisu had his internal battle in order to pick himself back again and continue fighting for Usagi, with the help of his ghost friends and Kyuma. Habang nagsa-self-reflect si Chishiya after ng match niya with Kuzuryu, he met Arisu again for the first time kasi yung last meeting nila sa manga was actually after the beach pa. This is where Niragi appeared na nga and where the three of them had a battle royale na they called exhibition game. Nagkaroon ng backstory si Chishiya during his time as a medical student, where he met a dying patient asking him a favor para iabot ang isang sulat as his final message to his family. Kaso this is when Chishiya is at his peak I don't give a fuck face, so he didn't even bother at tinapon lang yung letter. Ever since he was a kid kasi he grew without experiencing love from his father na isang doktor din. He felt na his father didn't even thought about him at pinanganak lang siya just for formality. For the sake of appearances, masabi lang na merong pamilya. This environment is what pushed Chishiya to never give a damn sa buhay. After some talk no jutsu at barilan, they left Chishiya and Niragi bleeding para i-complete yung last game, which is the Queen of Hearts. Na kailangan nilang i-clear agad kasi they had like an hour or half a day before they die of blood loss. Sa live action, they left Chishiya and Niragi and have them wait para maklear pa yung King of Spades, then yung Queen of Hearts. Which is funny kasi if you think about it, there's no way na Chishiya and Niragi can survive that long. Huwag niyo akong simulan dun sa casualties ng King of Spades kasi yun talaga sobrang lala. Imposible mag-survive ng ganong katagal. Going back sa live action, the whole gang got reunited to fight the King of Spades at ang game plan nila is to lure him sa drugstore filled with aerosol and kill him sa isang pagsabog using the handmade bomb made by Chishiya shown at the start of the series. Arisu will pull the plan tapos everyone becomes a decoy and distraction sa King of Spades. And so we got to see tong Malatanos versus Avengers fight scene kung saan nag-clash sila and made some good combos and play. I'll say na yung fight choreography dito was peak. Hell, the best fight this series had. They pulled this off very well at talagang damang-dama mo yung intensity ng laban. Unfortunately, this left everyone on the brink of death. Arisu was able to pull the plan with Agni's assist, leaving the King of Spades na nag-aagaw buhay. He asked Agni to end his life, then we see a short flashback from his past life doing the same thing to his comrade. Agni pulled the trigger, tapos he told the King of Spades the words he wanted to hear on his final moments. Pagkatapos nun, Agni tried to kill himself, but Mad Hatter's ghost showed up and finally, nakamove on na sila sa bromance LQ nila. And so the announcement for the final game was made na nga, where the wounded Usagi and Arisu finally heading to the Queen of Hearts game. From our last episode review, we all know na this went differently sa manga, with Dodo being the main protagonist sa King of Spades game. And so we'll pick up where we left up sa episode 5 ng video series na to. Link on the description. After Dodo and Heya jumped off the cliff, they washed ashore the river kung saan they got reunited with Agni, who survived the one-on-one fight with the King of Spades. They took refuge sa isang city in the midst of a storm kung saan the three of them rested sa isang abandoned supermarket. Dito, they had a short, wholesome bahay-bahayan moment which the three of them never had kasi all of them came from a tragic and broken family. After 2 days of fighting the King of Spades, they realized na malapit nang ma-expire yung visa ni Dodo, putting more pressure para i-clear at talunin ang King of Spades game within the day. With Agni standing as the father figure sa make-believe family nila, he decided to charge alone and fight the King of Spades. Thinking na if he killed the King of Spades, then lahat ng players will get their visa extended, saving Dodo in the process, since tong game na to has everyone across the Borderlands as participants. Nung nalaman to ni Dodo, he followed Agni kasi he doesn't want to put him in danger. Si Heya naman decided to stay, saying she has no reason to put herself in danger and she can survive kasi may natitira pa siyang days sa visa niya. We then saw some quick flashbacks of Isao, yung name ng King of Spades, from his life way back as a mercenary, where he gets a call offering him to fight in a war for a client. Yung plan ni Agni sa manga resembled the one they did sa live action. He called Isao and lured him to a place where he set up a gas leak and plans to pull a double suicide explosion. Pero in a series of events, Dodo ruined the plan after following them, giving Isao the chance to throw a grenade, igniting the explosion. The three of them took over sa pagsabog, pero this triggered some flashbacks kay Isao on his time sa war with Apache, the guy he was on the phone earlier in the flashback. With Dodo ruining Agni's plan for a double suicide, Dodo explained na he won't be happy with that plan and hence his reason for fighting is to not let Agni die. Peak character development. Dahil sa pagsabog, the building collapsed with Isao having PTSD. Nagkaroon siya ng war flashbacks of his friend in war, si Apache, na nag-aagaw buhay, asking salvation by letting him pull the trigger and end his life with his own hands. This explains the scene we saw sa live action. Isao lost his mind for a moment, giving the two of them the chance to climb sa tuktok ng gumuhong building only to end up on a dead end kasi they can't jump below dahil sa malakas na pagbaha which can drown and kill them. Pero Akane came to the rescue. Tsundere lang talaga siya and couldn't stand leaving them behind to die. She provided them a rope using her arrow para makapag-zipline to the next building. Agni went first pero Dodo chose to stay behind nang di nila alam to distract the King of Spades. Maboy really grew a pair of balls in just 3 days. Dodo got shot and fell, making Agni go into beast mode kasi it should have been him dead at sobrang pagod na siya to see people dying around him from his plot armor. Charging right through the barrage of bullets from the King of Spades, he aimed for the head, just as Thanos said, and snapped Isao's neck, ending the fight in an instant. Dodo almost drowned after falling from the shot, pero Akane was able to save him and bring him back to life. Then we see the same scenes from the live action on how Agni ended Isao's life after giving him salvation and him moving on from the Mad Hatter's ghost of the past. With that, they were able to clear the game, but in a twist of fate, Agni was the only one who got his visa extended kasi plot twist kung sino lang yung nakatalo sa King of Spades gets the win, which then makes Dodo's deadline sa Borderlands. And that's when the announcement was made for the last game para sa Queen of Hearts, which Akane and Dodo went in to end this once and for all, to quickly clear the game para makasurvive si Dodo and save Agni dying from his wounds. All of the perspectives from every characters converged at this point sa manga for the final game. Si Niragi, Chishia, and Agni lang ang nag-aagaw buhay dito, while in the live action we saw everyone's dying including Kuina, Heya, and Ann who was almost dead. Sa live action, si Arisu and Usagi lang ang tumuloy for the final game, pero sa manga, everyone went to the venue, all preferred to fight the Queen of Hearts. After some short time of catching up with everyone, they then decided kung sino maglalaro sa game. Since this is a game of hearts, everyone is aware na they could end up killing one another. Arisu suggested na he will go and clear the game alone kasi dala na siya and doesn't want to put anyone in danger again, and also wants to get the answer he needed about the truth ng Borderlands. Usagi volunteered, suggesting na there are games na need ng 2 players to complete, just like the 4 of Spades. Everyone also volunteered to fight, putting their lives on the line, pero this time with the choice of sacrificing their lives for their own sake and not for anyone. And so with everyone's resolution, they decided na lang kung sino yung maglalaro via bato-bato pick at kung sino yung dalawang manalo will be the players. And by the author's choice, syempre, Usagi and Arisu won and finally met the Queen of Hearts. Next episode, we'll finally go through the Queen of Hearts game, how this compares sa manga, reveal kung sino nga ba talaga ang Joker, at anong nangyari sa ending. So stay tuned para sa next episode. If you enjoyed this kind of video, consider subscribing to the channel as this really helps me make more of this. See you on the next video. Arigatou gozaimasu. Ciao!